The storm began the same week that billionaire businessman Adrian Cole started noticing something unusual about one of his warehouse employees, a quiet young woman named Maya. She always arrived on time, always finished her tasks flawlessly, and never complained, but something about her tired eyes and fading smile kept bothering him. She refused the free transportation his company offered, worked extra shifts she didn't need, and disappeared quickly every evening as if racing against time. Adrian, a man known for his sharp instincts, felt a pull of concern he couldn't ignore. One evening, when the rain poured like needles and most workers hurried home, he saw Maya walking alone on the dark road, drenched, clutching a worn-out bag. That image stayed with him through the night, disturbing him more than he expected. The next day, he called HR discreetly and learned something shocking. Maya had never taken a single loan, never requested extra pay, never asked for help, and yet she always seemed exhausted as if life had been draining her slowly. When he tried offering her a ride, she politely refused, insisting she was fine. But the way she avoided eye contact felt like she was hiding something deeper. Adrian, unable to shake the worry, made a decision he'd never made for any employee before. He asked his driver to stay back that evening, took his own car, and waited at a distance for Maya to leave. She walked quickly, hood pulled over her head, unaware that her boss was quietly following her through the dim, rain-washed streets. Maya's route surprised him. She didn't go to any main road, nor toward the bus stand. Instead, she slipped into an old, run-down neighborhood where buildings leaned like tired shadows. Adrian kept his distance, parking far enough not to alarm her. She entered a building with peeling paint and cracked windows, the kind that whispered stories of hardship. Adrian felt a tightening in his chest. Why was a bright, hard-working employee living here? He waited, watching the silent windows, feeling a strange ache. After a long moment, he decided to go closer, his heart thumping with a worry he couldn't yet explain. Inside the building, faint crying drifted through the corridor. Following the sound, he found a door slightly open, and through it he saw Maya kneeling beside a small bed where a little boy coughed weakly, his face pale and his hands trembling. Maya held him gently, whispering comfort with a voice full of love and worry. Adrian froze. The boy looked no older than 6. There were medical papers scattered on the table, prescriptions, bills, and reports. The truth slowly unfolded before his eyes. She wasn't working extra shifts for herself. She was fighting for someone else. Before he could step back, the wooden floor creaked under his shoe, and Maya looked up, shocked to find her employer standing in her doorway. Her face turned white in fear, as if she thought she would lose the one thing keeping her afloat, her job. She rushed to stand, wiping her eyes quickly, apologizing without knowing what she was apologizing for. Adrian raised his hands gently, telling her he meant no harm. But the boy began coughing harder, and Maya had to return to him immediately. Adrian stepped inside without waiting for permission, grabbed a glass of water, and handed it to her. For a moment, their eyes met, hers full of desperation, his filled with questions he didn't know how to ask. The silence between them felt heavy, almost painful. After the boy fell asleep, Maya finally explained the truth. Her son, Leo, had been diagnosed with a rare respiratory condition that needed constant treatment. His father had abandoned them years ago, leaving her alone to carry a burden far heavier than she could afford. She worked double shifts to buy medicine, refused transportation because she used every saved rupee for hospital visits, and kept her life hidden in fear of pity or job risk. Adrian listened quietly, feeling something break inside him. In all his years of building empires, negotiating deals, and multiplying wealth, he had never felt so helpless, and never so determined to help someone who deserved far more than life had given her. Adrian asked why she never told the company or applied for support programs. Maya looked down, twisting her fingers nervously. She didn't want to depend on anyone, she said. People always helped with conditions or expectations, and she wanted her son to grow in dignity, not charity. Adrian felt a sting in his chest. He, who had everything, had never realized how much courage it took to survive when you had nothing. He assured her softly that she wasn't alone anymore, that asking for help wasn't weakness, and that she had shown more strength than most people he knew. Her eyes filled again, but this time with a mixture of relief and disbelief. The next morning, Adrian made some calls, not as a millionaire flexing power, but as a man determined to do something right. He arranged for Leo's full medical treatment with the best specialists in the city. He set up a special fund for Maya, offered her a higher role with better pay, and ensured transportation for both mother and son. But he didn't tell her any of this immediately. Instead, he visited that evening again, not as a boss, but as a friend. He brought food, medicine, and soft toys for Leo. The child smiled faintly, his first smile Adrian had seen, and something warm settled in Adrian's heart. When Adrian finally revealed everything, Maya broke down in tears, dropping to her knees, overwhelmed by gratitude she didn't know how to express. Adrian gently helped her up, telling her that no mother should bear such pain alone, that her strength had opened his eyes to things his wealth had made him blind to. He told her that she had reminded him of what true courage looked like, not in skyscrapers or boardrooms, but in tiny rooms where parents fought quietly for their children's lives. Maya hugged her son tightly, whispering prayers of hope she'd been too afraid to speak before. In the months that followed, Leo's health improved dramatically, Maya rose through the company ranks with confidence, and Adrian visited often, becoming more like family than employer. He didn't help out of pity but out of admiration, for a mother's love, for silent endurance, for kindness hidden behind struggle. And though he had built an empire from ambition, it was this single act of compassion that made him feel truly human again. He had followed an employee out of concern, but what he discovered changed him forever. The truth had broken his heart, but it had also rebuilt it in a far better way.